Well, it's not even light out yet, but I'm recording the video for the 22nd of November, and the title is Promises of a Better Future. There have been requests for me to make videos on specific subjects, and I will tackle some of those in due time. Today, however, I want to deal with comments from my son. He tells me to look back and see all that I have accomplished. Yes, I had my own radio program called Be Not Deceived. I created and published a newspaper called The Well, and later a magazine called Paradox. I got to speak in many churches and spiritual groups throughout my life, and I was a leader in some of those. I transformed my home into a church where weekly meetings were held for several years. Of course, I've been making videos every day for almost 6 years now, and they are viewed by an international audience. So what? Everything I've ever done has been for a purpose, to do my part in bringing the kingdom of heaven to earth. Will I be added to the list in Hebrews 11? All these died in faith, receiving not the promise. If that becomes true of me, my life as I see it will have been lived in vain. Yeah, I've wrestled with this. I have not been feeling well for the past 3 or 4 days at least. My energy is extremely drained. I get tired really, really easily. I've been sleeping more than I usually do. I didn't even go to one of the meetings last night that I generally go to. I called and said that I wasn't going to be there. And it's been a real challenge for me, especially this year when I lost my home, as I've said in other videos. And I understand that my son is trying to get me to look on the positive side of things. And I still have people that send me things of how there's positive changes being made. I just got something just a little while ago that I read, a comment. I think it was one of the comments on my recent video from yesterday. And it said that that Obama is going to usher in the kingdom of heaven on earth. Yeah, right. That's about as far-fetched as an idea as I've ever heard, that Obama is going to do anything positive. That any politician, including Donald Trump. I mean, I'd like to see Trump accomplish some of the things he says he's going to try to accomplish. And he has a Republican House and a Republican Senate, so there shouldn't be any excuses. But the money system is still controlled by an elite establishment that does not have the best interest of humanity at heart. I still get videos or things for me to watch from people that tell me that still that the new financial system is going to be ushered in, and we're all going to be, especially people like me, are going to be rich. We're going to be able to have the money that we need to accomplish some of the goals that we've had in our lives. Lots of things. I'll believe it when I see it. But it's not about looking back, forgetting those things that are behind. I press forward to the mission that I've had my whole life, which is to help bring in the kingdom of heaven on earth. That, just like I said in the blurb, it doesn't matter what I've done in the past. Everything that I've done because I was a little boy, 7 or 8 years old, and I realized that I had a calling on my life. As I became an early teenager, maybe not even a teen, well, I guess you could call 12 a teenager, even though it doesn't have the word teen in it. I mean, from 11 or 12 years old, I became more and more aware, and was preaching in youth groups, and then in the largest church in the Assembly of God in the state of New Jersey when I had just turned 14. And I've gotten to preach in many different churches, both Christian and I've led I've been a speaker in Muslim communities and Hindu communities, not Muslim. Muslim, I've had that Muslims come and speak in my group when I led my own group, and for which I got a lot of chastisement from some of the members of my group. But I have tried to build bridges. I have tried to do what I believe is the most high calling of God, from God, that he's ever given to human beings. By this shall men know that you are my disciples, if you love one another. And that doesn't mean that you only love those that are in your little group and your little community and your little religion and your little nationality or your little race. And speaking of race, I've had a couple of people, at least, in the past few days tell me to shut up, white man. Like, I've spoken in black churches where I was the only white person in the entire congregation. I've had black people speak in my groups. I've had people from India speak, and from other religions. I have been trying to build bridges and to love my neighbor. And who is my neighbor? Everybody. Everybody. If I could, I would reach out to the Illuminati. And I was a friend of an Illuminati person who claimed to be Illuminati anyway, from Sweden, the ambassador, for those of you that remember. I defended him when a lot of people were claiming he was a fraud and phony. I defended him, only to have him right after my birthday, not this year, but last year, right after my birthday, just dump me and unfriend me, and then he refriended me, and then he made promises went for my trip in Australia that were, of course, none of the promises he ever made to me were kept. And folks, I've lived my whole life with a dream, with a vision. And as I said in the blurb, will I become just another name on the list? In Hebrews 11, all these died in the faith, receiving not the promises. God promised to establish his kingdom on earth. That's what I've always believed. Is it true? I don't even know anymore what truth is. Nothing seems to work the way that I thought it was going to work. I'm not an atheist. How could an atheist be mad at God? And I am furious at God. As I've said in other videos, if I could, I'd punch him in the face for lying. And it says in the Bible, God is not a man that he should lie, neither the Son of Man that he should repent. Yeah, I know all that stuff. I know all that stuff. I've grown up with it. I've learned and memorized many, many, many scriptures. I don't remember where they all are as far as chapter and verse, but I remember what was said. And I took it as being said by coming from God. But I've come to realize that most of the Hebrew stuff, most of the stuff from Israel, and that, I mean, that's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's not real. It's not true. It's the Jews, and the Jews as represented by the modern nation of Israel, is the most diabolical force on the planet. It's certainly not godly. It's anti-godly. Anyway, folks, I'd like to see the future unfold for all of us that allows us to be free and allows us to fulfill the deepest desire of our heart, to not have to be constantly in need and constantly trying to connive and lie and figure out how we can get one-upmanship on somebody else. I'd like to see us learn how to really love one another and transform our lives and our culture on this planet. Will that happen? I don't know. I don't know. I see promise after promise remain unfulfilled. And I'm tired. I'm really tired. I'd like you to understand. Some of you won't. Maybe some of you will. But thank you for listening, and namaste.